We've all been there. We've all been ready for something different, ready for some change. And then we start to do our research about where we want to live. And then we're kind of in this like weird, like, oh my gosh phase. So that is why today I am bringing you 6 pros and cons about living in San Antonio, Texas. Not too long ago, my family and I were in the exact same position that you were in, researching your next place to live or the next place to call home. So I totally get it, and I wanted to share with you guys some pros and cons about living in San Antonio, Texas. I am Patricia Escobedo, and every week I share videos about what it's like to live, work, play, and love your life in San Antonio. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button along with the bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Every week I have families who are reaching out to me wanting to know what it is like to live here, and I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving to the area or want to know what it's like to live here, be sure to shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call, slide into my DMs. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back when moving to San Antonio, Texas. A few years ago, my family and I were in the same position that you're in right now, wanting to move to another city for growth, for our family, for really just our careers, and we needed to just really step up and consider leaving our really small town. So that's why we ended up going ahead and choosing San Antonio, because we just loved what it had to offer. So I'm going to jump right into our first pro, and it's going to be our diversity. So San Antonio is very diverse. It is literally a melting pot, you guys. Like, we have people from all different cultures and ethnicities, and we have a lot of different festivals that go on throughout the year. So if diversity is something that you're looking for, San Antonio is the perfect place for you to really consider moving to. And it will now bring me into my second con. Because we are so culturally diverse in San Antonio, that means we have a lot of very friendly people. So whether you are from Texas and that's just who you are, or you're from some other part of the country, or maybe even another part of the world, and you are very friendly and outgoing, then this is a place for you. If you're very introverted and maybe don't want to meet your neighbors and go to different events that are going on throughout your community, then maybe reconsider moving to San Antonio, because everybody is super friendly out here. We were cleaning out our garage a few weeks ago, and we hadn't met our neighbors, and we actually ended up hanging out with them for like 2 hours. So that just gives you a little bit of an understanding of what it's like to live in San Antonio and how friendly everybody is. So then my next pro is going to be San Antonio is the second largest city in Texas. That's pretty cool. I thought that Houston's the first largest city. I really thought that Dallas was gonna like beat us in that, aspect of being the second largest city, but no, San Antonio's up there. So that is a huge pro about, the city of San Antonio, is because we are the second largest city in Texas. That means that we have a lot more room for growth, development, businesses, everything, you name it. Like, we have that room and we're growing that way. So that's really, really good. And then my con for this one is really kind of leading me into this con, is that because we have so much growth and because we are the second largest city, we are starting to really see a shortage of homes. So if you're looking to relocate within the next couple of months, I would really consider finding your realtor and really starting to start your home search, because we do have a shortage of inventory, whether it's new construction or a pre-owned home. We do have a shortage. So be sure that you link up with a realtor, and they will give you the information as far as what the market is doing and what areas may be a good fit for you. So that will lead me into my next pro, and it's going to be employment. So because San Antonio is so large, we get to have a lot of different employment opportunities here in the city. So one of them is going to be Valero. We have one of their headquarters here in San Antonio. So the oil and industry world, that is going to be a huge play a huge role in, if that is the field that you're in. Then we have Valero. We have quite a few different oil companies that are out here in San Antonio and in the surrounding areas as well. Then we have HEB. If you're not familiar with HEB, it's a Texas homegrown grocery store. They are only in Texas, and we have one of their main warehouses here in San Antonio, and they are amazing. They take care of their employees. I know because I worked with them or for them when I was in my maybe like late teens. I worked with them. It was, they're really caring and really just care about their employees. So if that's something that you're looking for, you can jump onto their website and they'll have their job opportunities there as well. So we also do have USAA. So if you're in, either insurance or financing or something like that with the banking world, we do have one of USAA's main headquarters here in San Antonio. They do always have job fairs and just different job opportunities that are always opening up here with USAA. So if you're in the healthcare industry, we have a lot of healthcare opportunity here, job opportunities here. If you're in that industry, we have a couple of bases in San Antonio as well. So if you are already maybe in healthcare and you're going to separate from the military and you're wanting to maybe go civil service or be a civilian working on the bases, then we do have a lot of opportunities there. And if you're not already part of the DoD as a civilian, then you still have opportunity to come into those healthcare jobs, with the DoD. We also do have Amazon in San Antonio, and Amazon just released last month letting us know that they are going to open a 1 million square foot facility, guys. This is huge in San Antonio. They're creating at least 1,500 jobs, and they are looking to have that warehouse completed by 2021. So we are already in 2021, and I'm almost positive they're already hiring for those positions. So if that's also something that you're looking for, be sure to check out Amazon. Go to their website. Apply for those jobs, you guys, because there's so much employment opportunity here in San Antonio. This will lead me into my next con, which would be construction. So because we're growing as fast as we are, we need more roads, and everything is getting opened up as far as our major highways in San Antonio, which is going to be your Loop 1604 and Loop 410. Loop 1604 takes you on the outside of the city, and that's more like the suburban area. And San Antonio is growing outward. So 1604 has a lot of construction because of all the growth that we have here. But yeah, construction can be kind of a bit of a pain in the butt, especially when it comes to your morning commute or your afternoon commute, coming and going from work. But it's just certain pieces of it. So if you're in the East Coast or you're on the West Coast and you come to Texas and you're yeah, this is nothing. That's what I've gotten from a lot of clients that are relocating to San Antonio is dude, this is nothing. This traffic is nothing compared to what we have over there. So to each their own. Again, traffic can be kind of bad. Construction is always happening. I just noticed the other day I was coming from a showing in Bulverde, and I was on I-10, and I noticed that we had an HOV lane, which I was pretty impressed. I was what? Where did this come from? This is pretty awesome. So I'm hoping that they'll start to put more of those HOV lanes out there for us so that we could use those, and those of us who have more than 3 passengers in our vehicle, like me, all the time. I have 5 kids, you guys. So I always have a bunch of kids in my car. But yes, HOV lanes I think are going to hopefully be a thing here in San Antonio. So this is going to bring me into my next pro, is that San Antonio is a large city, but you really get that small town vibe. You stay in your community and you really feel like you're just in this big city, but you're in a smaller town feel. It's really cool. Every community that I've gone to or that I've lived in is always the same thing. And everybody in these areas are just really warm and welcoming. But what I love the most about these areas or these neighborhoods, especially our neighborhood, is that we have access to a lot of stuff. So we're on the far west side of San Antonio, and we're off of Culebra and 1604. So right off of Culebra, we have a lot of restaurants. We have Target, Best Buy, Bath and Body Works. We have all kinds of stuff in this area. So we don't really have to leave. We don't have to leave our area to get to these things that we like to do. So that's really nice. And then obviously you're going to have your families who are always outside and the kids that are playing in the yard. And it's just a really awesome feeling to have that small town feel in a large city. So if that's something that you like or you're looking for and you're tired of that faster lifestyle, San Antonio is definitely a really good place for you to consider. Also, we don't have a lot of public transportation. So if that's something that you're needing, if you're going to live in the metro part of San Antonio, which would be maybe inside 410, then that you'll have access to public transportation. But other than that, if you're going to live on the suburb side of San Antonio, then we really don't have public transportation. So then that would mean you'd have to have your own vehicle to get you to and from wherever you're going. We don't mind it. Again, I'm from Texas and we've always had vehicles, but it's very different here where you can't really walk to a store. You have to get in your car and drive a few minutes to get to your convenience store, your grocery store. So that's pretty important that you guys know that as far as transportation goes. So then this will bring me into one of my pros is that we have a couple of rivers and lakes here in San Antonio, and if you're outdoorsy like we are and we love to barbecue and sit around outside, have some mommy drinks or adult beverages, it's definitely a lot of different options as far as your outdoor activity goes. We have Medina Lake, which is going to be one of the larger lakes around here that you can go. You can go fishing. You can pop up a canopy, hang out there all day. We love to do stuff like that. So we also have Lake Calaveras, which one of our good friends is actually a fishing guide. So we kind of get to cheat a little bit on as far as the fishing part goes. I'm not big on fishing, but my fiance likes to fish. So I just go along for the ride. And then we have a couple of rivers that run maybe around or on the outer side of San Antonio, but we have the Guadalupe River and we have the Comal River. Both of them are awesome options as far as if you want to be outdoors and you want to go float the river, you can go ahead and you can rent tubes and take your ice chest full of beer and water and snacks and you can go float the river for a few hours. We love to do it. There's a little spot in Green, Texas. It's another really cute small town right outside of San Antonio. We go float the river and then we get out and 2 minutes away from that is the grist mill. We love the grist mill. My fiance and I will have day dates where we get rid of the kids for the day or they're at school or whatever and we'll go out there and we'll go have lunch. But yeah, it's a really awesome place as far as outdoor activities, and we have Six Flags and SeaWorld, and we have the zoo. I mean, there's just so much stuff that you can do as far as outdoor activities go. My son and I did go kayaking, I think it was last summer, and we didn't own kayaks, so I rented our kayaks, and apparently I got the display kayak. So make sure whatever you do not get that display kayak because chances are it will fill up with water and it will fall over. So that was just my own experience on my kayaking adventure with my son. So this will bring me into my next con is that it's super hot in Texas and that's just how it is here. And especially in San Antonio, we're the end of January at this point and we're having weather already into the mid 70s. So really all in all, we only have maybe a month and a half to 2 solid months of cold weather. But this year, thankfully, it wasn't that cold. So if you don't like hot weather or warmer weather 10 months out of the year, then I would suggest not thinking about San Antonio. And then, so my next pro for you guys is going to be that we do not have state taxes. So that is really awesome because if you are looking to relocate and take a job here in San Antonio, you don't have to worry about having any kind of state tax on your paycheck. I know some parts of the country do I think between like 11 and 13% that they tax you, and then on top of everything else you have to get taxed on. So Texas does not have state tax, which is awesome. We do have property tax though, so they can be a little bit higher just depending on where you're going to be living in San Antonio. But then, you know, you go to the suburb area, you're going to have a lot less property tax to pay versus if you're in the metro area. But again, I mean, there's stuff out there for everybody, so don't get discouraged if you see property taxes and you're like, what is this? It's just, it happens here in Texas. But okay, this was my last con, is that we do not all have a Southern accent in Texas. We are Texans, but we don't all have a Southern accent. So if you're looking for a Southern accent, we could take you out to the farms or like a ranch place area of Texas, and you may get a nice Southern accent, but for the most part, we do not have Southern accents. So I thought I would just add something funny and make you guys kind of giggle a little bit, because I do have quite a few people who ask me when they meet me, like, why don't you have a Texas accent, or why don't you sound Southern? And I think it's kind of funny, and I'm like, well, you know, we're not all Southern that way. So, but yeah, I mean, you guys, if you are looking to relocate to the area, and all of these things are things that you can live or live without, you know, whatever it is that you guys are looking for, San Antonio is definitely very diverse. It's very, embraces everybody. It's just a really awesome place to live in. There's a ton of things to do here, whether you're single, you're married, you have kids, whatever you're looking for, I guarantee that you're going to find it here in San Antonio. So again, you guys, if you have any questions about moving to San Antonio, looking to either want more information about just what it's like to live here, you guys feel free to reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, slide into my DMs, you know, whatever. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got, oh my God. However, okay. God, I just totally f***ed that up. Give me a call, slide into my DMs. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back when moving to San Antonio.